1.
Hello, my name is Matthew, and today I will be teaching you about the colony of Rhode Island. In 1524, the Italian navigator Giovanni Veranzo made the first visit to Rhode Island. It is from Veranzo's description of the Rhode Island coastline and islands that the state gets the first part of its name. Veranzo made his famous trip searching for an all-water route through North America to China, employed by the French King Francis I and several Italian promoters. After landfall at Cape Fear on March 1st, 1524, he proceeded up the coastline to the present location of New York City to anchor in the Narrows, now the location of the giant bridge named after him. In 1620, settlers from Plymouth Colony in Massachusetts Bay went into the region of Rhode Island to trade with the native tribes there. The tribes out in Rhode Island were the Nipmunks, Pequot, Wampanoag, Narragansett, Nyaniks, Cowessets, Shawomets, and Nyaniks. In 1635, William Blackstone, who was the first European settler of Rhode Island, arrived and built a house in Lonsdale on the banks of Blackstone River. The first permanent European colony was founded by Roger Williams at Providence in 1636 on land he purchased from the Narragansett Indians. Roger Williams was forced to flee Massachusetts because of persecution. He established a policy of religious and political freedom. Other people advocating for freedom of religion soon established similar colonies on either side of the Narragansett Bay. Communities united, and in 1663, King Charles II gave them a royal charter providing a degree of self-government than all the colonies in the New World, and authorizing the continuation of freedom of religion. This is the Royal Charter of Pennsylvania, but Maryland's would have probably looked similar to it. The colony is where the first Baptist church in America, the first Jewish synagogue, and one of the first Quaker meeting houses exist. On May 4th, 1776, it became the first state to formally declare its independence from Great Britain. But the state's leaders feared of a too powerful government, so they refused to sign the Constitution until the Bill of Rights was added to it. On May 29th, 1790, Rhode Island became the last of the original 13 colonies to sign the Constitution. The three biggest raw resources the colony had were fish, whales, and wood. The state fish of Rhode Island is the striped bass. They used fish as a source of food. Whales were killed for oil, blubber, and sometimes meat. These items could be used to make many things. Oil was made into lamp oil, soap, perfume, candles, and cosmetics. Cooking oil and margarine can also be made from the whales. Of course, wood could be used for building houses, furniture, and many other things. Farming was difficult for crops like wheat because of the poor soil, but corn, pumpkin, rye, squash, and beans were able to be grown. They ate soup, which was a cornmeal that they would eat hot or cold with milk or butter added to it. Succotash is a dish that is usually a combination of corn and beans. Rhode Island is a New England state bordered by Massachusetts to the north and east, Atlantic Ocean to the south, and Connecticut to the west. Rhode Island is the smallest state in America. Its capital is called Providence. There are 36 islands in Rhode Island and is almost divided into by the Narragansett Bay and has over 400 miles of coastline. There are lagoons and salt marshes along the state's Atlantic shore. There are also rolling hills on Block Island. Although no major battles took place in the state during the Revolutionary War, Rhode Island regiments took part in every major campaign during the war. Rhode Islanders such as Nathaniel Greene, Commodore Essex Hopkins were military leaders, and heroes. The state furnished its share of men, ships, and money to the cause. The state's independent spirit was still evident at the end of the Revolutionary War. The war did not alter the state's governmental structure, which was still the royal charter from 1663. In 1778, the states ratified the Article of Confederation with its weak central government, but with the movement to strengthen the government came about in the mid-1780s. Rhode Island was not in agreement. The state's individualism and democratic loyalism caused it to resist the centralizing tendencies of the federal Constitution. It was the last of the 13 original colonies to ratify the United States Constitution, demanding that the Bill of Rights be added. After the Revolutionary War period, industrial growth began in Rhode Island. In 1793, Samuel Salter's mill in Potomac became the first water-powered cotton textile mill in North America to be successful. From this success, the Industrial Revolution in America began. In addition, the founding of the American jewelry industry by Nahum and Cyril Dodge helped make Providence one of the main industrial cities in New England by the time of 1824. Jabez Groham, who was a jeweler and silversmith, was the forerunner of the world-renowned Groham Manufacturing Company. Even though this was a turbulent time in the nation's history, Rhode Island has had very good commercial and industrial advances.